Hi, this is 100 and 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Today we are looking at Job Simulator. Job Simulator is a simulator where you do different jobs. This is a really interesting game. When you get into this one, you're going to definitely have an experience that you've never had before. There aren't very many video games like this one, and doing Job Simulator in VR just makes the experience that much better. We're excited to review this one with you today. In our VR Gear game reviews, we cover as many aspects of the game as possible so that you can make an informed decision before you try or buy one of these VR titles. We're really excited to jump into Job Simulator and show you how this game performs against our criteria. Let's start with getting up and running with Job Simulator. This game is available in the Oculus Store, and it also works on the Quest. It's also available in the Steam Store and on PSVR. The game is $19.99. It's not part of a subscription, so if you really want to play this game, you're going to have to lay down the $20 and buy this one outright. This game is a very interesting type of game, and there's an increasing number of games like it in VR. The games that come to mind are virtual reality, and Shooty Fruity. These can be added to the Job Simulator list of follow directions. You are an incapable human that needs to be told by robots or by some future intelligence how to do your job. This particular game, your job is to follow instructions that are given to you via an earpiece, and as you carry out the various tasks that you are given, you can either succeed or fail, and there aren't very many negative implications whether you succeed or fail. It actually becomes very fun because the environment that you're placed in is incredibly interactive. There's a lot of different things you can touch and mess with. So this type of game is actually a really refreshing, fun, great first VR experience. You'll play this game from the first-person perspective, and you won't see much more than your hands out in front of you, and they are white-gloved hands, so don't get them dirty. Well, you actually don't see if they get dirty, even though you're doing some jobs that would result in dirty hands. In this game, you'll be able to reach out and grab objects close to you, as well as objects that are further away. You can do some reach force grab maneuvers to bring things closer to you if you can't quite reach them into your physical space. But you'll play this game from a first-person perspective. You are the main character, you are carrying out all of the different tasks, and you will be sitting underneath the hood of a car or at a checkout stand or wherever else you're placed when you pick the level and the job that you are going to simulate. As far as theme and story goes, this game is all about you developing your skills in different occupations. If you have any aspirations to be a chef, an office worker, an auto mechanic, or a convenience store clerk, this game is the place that you want to go to learn those skills. You don't need to go to any trade schools or university. Job Simulator is all you need. After you finish the game, I'm pretty sure you get a certificate that says that you qualify. Take that with your resume, you'll be hired super easy. This game is a fantastic way to learn these different jobs. Of course, I'm joking about all of that. There is no similarity in what you're doing other than maybe the names of the occupations, but it is a lot of fun. You can create a candy bar hot dog sandwich to give to someone who paid you money at the gas station where you are the clerk. Or at the office, you can put your stapler in the copy machine and make a copy of a stapler. The world is funny, the mechanisms are very responsive and kind of silly, and you're gonna really enjoy this game. You'll wanna stay in it for a very long time. As long as you're not expecting too much out of this game, you'll definitely get more than what you bargained for, and the experience will be really enjoyable. The controls for this game are extremely easy, very straightforward, and you can master them in no time. You don't really need to think much about the controls. You pull the trigger to grab things, you release them by releasing the trigger, and that's about it. If you would like to go to the menu, you can hit the menu button, and a briefcase will pop open. It's sort of like a briefcase lunchbox. Inside is a burrito. You eat the burrito, and then you can go back to the main game menu where you pick an occupation you would like to simulate. Incredibly fun, incredibly simple. The game is all about just relaxing and having a good time. And as a result, the controls don't require much thinking at all. It's a very natural interaction model for this game. For music and sound, this game is absolutely phenomenal. Every single piece and element in the environment has a sound associated with it. If you have a burger on a grill, you hear some sizzling sound. If you're pouring oil into a car, you hear a pouring sound. If the car is overheating, you hear a boiling, steaming sound. The entire game is incredibly immersive, and the audio experience was phenomenal. The game developers did a great job mapping sounds to the appropriate objects. You'll have a great time learning what you need to do by hearing what sound each one of these things makes. So this game is second to none in terms of audio. We really had a great time listening to the sounds as we interact with the different things. There's also a soundtrack that is being played in the background, but it is very quiet. In the convenience store, when you are the clerk, you can hear sort of elevator type music playing in the background, but it isn't something you're focusing on. You are trying to focus on completing the task at hand. But the audio really makes the experience a lot more immersive, keeps you inside of the game, focused on solving the problems, and it just makes the game more fun altogether. For player movement, you won't do much moving outside of rotating your body from the left to the right and looking up and down. You can play this game from a sitting or standing position, and we like to play these types of titles in a sitting position on a swivel stool so that we can easily rotate from left to right but still be grounded and stationary in one place. Other than that, you won't be moving much in this game at all. You'll just need to focus on interacting with the stuff that is within your reach. You won't be motion sick in this game at all. The virtual world responds perfectly to your movement in the real world, and as a result, you don't have that disconnect between what you see in the virtual world and what you feel in the real world. So motion sickness will not be an issue for you in this game. This makes Job Simulator one of the games you should be putting your newcomer friends in VR into for the first time. If you get motion sick easily, this game is a great one for you to try. Even for those people who are experienced in VR and want to avoid titles that make them sick, this one is a great title to try out and add to your collection. We did not get motion sick in this game, and we're convinced no one really will because of the way the player movement is set up. The environment of this game added a great deal to the immersion. The interactivity of the objects in the game, the audio that every object had that was unique, the weird combination of things you could do made this game incredibly immersive. The storyline, while it was very short, was a very strong and potent storyline theme that allows you to get into character and play the role of a convenience store clerk. We haven't done that type of job before, but now we feel like we have. I think that we all are now experts at being auto mechanics, convenience store clerks, office workers, and chefs. I'm pretty sure we could all go get jobs in these professions, and our skills would quickly hold us out as experts in these fields. And this is all thanks to Job Simulator. We are all now experts in 4 different occupations. Super exciting. And this has everything to do with the immersive nature of gameplay. You will love this game, and you will love learning what new things you can interact with as you jump into each one of these occupations. Now let's talk about the scorecard for Job Simulator VR. This game got an incredibly high score, and it got great marks across the board on all the different elements of our criteria. So let's start with theme and story. We are giving Job Simulator a 9 out of 10 for theme and story. The theme here is to simulate different occupations, and they executed beautifully. You aren't forced to do things, but you're encouraged and told to do certain things. You can screw them up, you can execute perfectly, but overall you're able to do the job and interact with the environment. So a 9 out of 10 for theme and story. For controls, we're giving this game a 9 out of 10. Near perfect score on controls. They were super easy to learn. They were perfectly mapped to what you needed to do in the world, and we really enjoyed learning and mastering the skills in a few short seconds when we started the game, and they kind of faded to the background. So perfect controls in that regard. So a 9 out of 10 for controls. For music and sound, we're giving this game a perfect score of 10 out of 10. This game has a Zen-like feel where the audio really convinces you that you are now in whatever location the occupation has you. So if you're a store clerk, you hear the door ringing when people open, or you hear the cash register open or close, or you hear the microwave running or the grill sizzling. You hear all these things, and as a result, the game gets a perfect score of a 10 out of 10. For player movement, we're giving this game a 9 out of 10. That is a fantastic score, and this is, after all, a sitting game where you can rotate from left to right, but you aren't having to teleport through the world or move forward or side to side through the world. You are able to interact with the world perfectly fine, and your player is limited in where you can travel, but your movement is not. In this game, you're able to do what needs to be done, and so a 9 out of 10 for player movement. For motion sickness, this game's getting a perfect score, 10 out of 10. You will not become motion sick in this game. If you do become motion sick in this game, you should definitely go see a doctor, because you'd also become motion sick at a normal job like an office worker or a convenience store clerk or an auto mechanic. So if you don't get motion sick doing your normal job, you won't get motion sick playing Job Simulator. So perfect score, 10 out of 10 for motion sickness. For environment and immersion, this game is getting a perfect score, 10 out of 10. The environment is rich with sound, interactivity, and really interesting puzzles and experiences. So a 10 out of 10 for environment and immersion. And this brings us to the overall score. Job Simulator is getting one of our highest ratings with a 9.5 out of 10. We enjoyed this game. You'll enjoy this game. It's available on the Oculus Store, the PSVR Store, and the Steam Store. So go out and check this one out. It's $19.99. This has been 100 in 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you can receive a notification tomorrow when we release another VR game review. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.